Is it beer 30? I believe it is. Tonight, we talk about what I believe is the most anticipated rematch in the history of the UFC, and the rematch of what I believe was the greatest light heavyweight match we've ever seen. And of course, that was Jon Jones versus Alexander Gustafsson. I am so excited for this fight. I cannot remember the last time I was this excited for a UFC fight. I was pretty excited for Cormier versus Miocic. I think maybe the last time I was this excited for a fight, though, was Jones versus DC. I don't know. This is something special, though. This is definitely something special. And the anticipation to have something... We've never really had a match in the UFC, for one thing, that was so close, a championship match, and then the build-up to the rematch for 5 years, over 5 years. September 2013 was the first match. The scorecards, I put them on here on a video. They are widely disputed. Let's look in on the chat, though. What's going on? Hello to everybody. What's up, Hawkeye? I had Gustafsson narrowly winning the first one. What's up, man? All right, MRP's up, homie. How's it going, man? Damn, why I gotta wait 5 minutes, the Lone Wolf. You gotta give everybody time to get in, Lone Wolf. Not everybody remembers the time, and when I sent out the reminder, I noticed that I didn't even get the notification on my own phone on my other channel. As I always check to see if people are getting notifications, and I didn't even get it myself. So what's up, Geeky Spartan? If they judge fights as a whole without breaking down rounds, it would be pretty close to a draw to me. This music needs testosterone replacement therapy. I will try to come up with something more manly. How about that? That would be against UFC rules. Failed audio drug testing. No audio. We can't hear you. Got it now. Beer 30. Now there's sound. This fight doesn't get me too hyped. Not sure why. Maybe I JJ'd out. Too many failures. Who won? I actually don't know that night. I was watching at Hooters and got... Oh, Jesus, DG. It was good. It was mid-4th round. I think Jones breaks him apart or Gus KOs him. The final scorecards... let me bring up the final scorecards real quick, because I have it on here. And we can break this down, and you guys can let me know what you think about it. And as the night goes on, eventually I'm going to let you guys know what my decision was. But I'm going to make you wait in anticipation a little while. Maybe till after trivia, or somewhere through trivia tonight, which I think you guys are going to like the trivia tonight. I hope you do. It's something quite a bit different than what I've done in the past. So here you go. We had Judge Doug Crosby and Richard Bertnard both scoring the fight 49-48 in favor of the champion, Jon Jones. And then the first judge, Chris Lee, he had, or no, I'm sorry, 47-46. What is that? One point. Yeah, and then the first judge had it way out there. He had it by 3 points for Jones. Most people believe it was closer than that. I think Jon Jones breaks him apart or Gus KOs him. It's going to be a crazy fight. I don't know why, but I feel the electricity in the air. And I told you guys that I felt it for Fury. You know, it's been a while for UFC, but I felt it for Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder. You guys seen how hyped I was for that fight. I said it was going to be the biggest fight since Holyfield and Lennox Lewis, and I think it lived up to all expectations. I expect this to be one of the greatest fights that we've seen in a very long time. I've watched a lot of fights, and obviously, I mean, this is the fight game. There's no guarantees, but I would not miss this. I would not miss this. I don't care if they called me into work and told me they were going to give me, quadruple pay for that time. I'd tell them to go F themselves. I wouldn't care. Because that's how bad I want to see this fight. But yeah, this fight was, it was that close. You can see it here. The first judge had the first 2 rounds for Gustafsson, the last 3 for Jones. All 3 of them had the rounds differently. That's something that I found very interesting too. Then you have Richard Bernard with rounds 1 and 3 to Gustafsson, and then 2, 3, and 4 to Jones. And then you have Judge Chris Lee giving just round 1 to Gustafsson, the last 4 to Jon Jones. I had it differently than all 3 of these judges. What's up, Cholo Wankster, a.k.a. Stewie? One of Stewie's many aliases. Did you get your profile kicked off again, Stewie? Thanks for coming in, bro. Good to see you here. All right, we got enough people in there. I think we're gonna do a little bit of trivia. Oh, Stewie, no. Hey. Oh, it's a Cholo Wankster in here, the famous, the one and only. Then I'm gonna do something a little different, and I'm gonna call tonight the sounds of violence. And all the questions, make sure your audio is turned up. I guess you would have to have audio turned up for questions anyways. But make sure your audio is tuned up, because I'm going to play a quote from a certain fighter. And then I'm going to ask the question, either who the fighter is or who the fighter is addressing when they say that. So I've got a pretty big video list here of quotes I put together from different fighters. And whoever gives it to me first, then you get it. That's it. They're all going to be, we're going to do 8 rounds tonight. Something different. Possibly a tiebreaker. But we're going to do 5 1,000-point questions. Number 6 will be 1,500. And then 7 and 8 will be 2,000 each. So some of these, if you're pretty big MMA fans or you watch the show quite a bit, they might be more of a speed test. Gives it to me first. Jones declines enrolling in Nevada after receiving his fighting license. I don't really blame him on that, to be honest. So what I heard, I guess, is they're very similar. USADA and VADA, they're both very similar. And MMA Junkie was talking about this today, and they were saying basically the biggest difference is, for one thing, you're already in USADA. So if USADA's good, why do you need VADA on top of it? But the biggest difference is USADA is very liberal now when it comes to marijuana. and Vada is not as much. And so that seems to be the tiebreaker. And it's like, why are you going to subject? You're already opening yourself up, opening your privacy up. It's very interruptive to training. It's interruptive to a lot of different things. USADA said that the first time they got him, the test sample, what was in his urine or whatever, they said it was like dropping a drop into an Olympic-sized swimming pool. That's what Jon Jones said anyways. I don't know if that's 100% accurate, but it was a very trace amount. Jon Jones will win again. What's up, frogs? I don't blame him. Just would be good PR for him face-wise. That it definitely would be, DG. And I agree with that. And I see both sides of it. But he said he's not going to stop smoking marijuana. He's like, I'm going to drink, I'm going to smoke some, and I can't guarantee you I'm not going to get in trouble in the next 10 years. When Ariel Helwani asked him, he says, are you going to be clean for the next 10 years? He's like, man, 10 years is a long time, bro. I don't know. I can't guarantee you anything. So as far as staying out of trouble. What's up, Robert Kerrigan? How you doing, my man? Just in time. All right, we're going to start the trivia off. Like I said, tonight, I'm calling it the first edition of MMA Sounds of Violence. And it is going to be 8 questions. The first 5 being 1,000 points apiece. Number 6 being, actually, let's do, I'm going to change this up some because that gives us a strange number. Let's do 5 at 1,000 and then 3 at 2,000. That gives us a better chance for some kind of fun tiebreaker. Those of you that were in on the last one, it went down to the buzzer beater, and I mean, I like exciting finishes. So, what's up, Zoltan? Jon Jones will win again. Did he win the first time? All right, here we go. Good to see you, Zoltan. Here we go. UFC Sounds of Violence. When you hear the quote, on this one, name the fighter. This one should be fairly easy. Sorry about that. There was seems to be an issue on my video player. I don't know why that was not playing right, but we'll go up to the videos. It wants to keep on playing the same video that is not the right video. So my computer rebooted when the power was out, so I don't know if that's the issue here. I rewatched the fight. Felt Gus through it 1-3. What's up, Pulsworth Loaded? Jon Jones. I rewatched the fight. I broke it down into 30-second intervals. And then if I felt like I wasn't paying enough attention for 30 seconds, or I felt like I didn't have a decisive winner for every 30 seconds of every round, I rewatched it. So I feel like I have it. I feel like I have the best idea that I'm going to get at this point. So here is the first sounds of Fights of Friends. Name the fighter.
He didn't want to fight because Johnny Hendricks hit him in the head so many times, he thought he'd been abducted by aliens. I'm surprised you're not wearing a tinfoil hat today to stop the fucking messaging.
All right, does anybody know who that fighter is? Could you guys hear that? DG Bisbing. DG has been tearing it up lately. Jason's not in there, and you just actually went ahead of Jason Azevedo in points as well. Oh, no, wait. DG, you did not get it. Pulse Reloaded and Zoltan got it first. You guys are quick. So that is Pulse Reloaded. I apologize. Pulse Reloaded with 1,000 points. That was very quick. Listening to some of these, there's so many good lines in UFC of trash talking, and I realize now that I go back, I realize how much we underestimated. I believe Michael Bisping. I mean, he had some really good lines over the years. Win or lose. He had some really good lines. Yeah, plus, all right, here we go. Sounds of Violence 2. Here we go. Name the fighter. This is also should be a speed test for 1,000 points. I hope the local guy isn't winning tonight. Just kidding.
This is #1 bullshit.
All right, could you guys hear that? If not, turn up your speakers. Zoltan, that is correct, sir. That is Khabib.
This is #1 bullshit.
Zoltan with 1,000 points. All right. Sorry, I didn't have the applause ready for you on the first one, Pulse Reloaded. But Zoltan is on the board with 1,000. Pulse with 1,000. We got a lot to play. I'm here only for the graphics. What's up? You missed the beginning, Dutch guy. Did you see the 10 minutes at the beginning, the 10-minute timer? The entire thing had the poster that you asked for, so there'll be no more graphics tonight. What's up, Dutch guy? I'm kidding. Dutch guy worked on those beautiful graphics you've seen in the 10-minute timer before, and some other things. Border Fox says, tap machine. WTF. All right, here we go. Next one, Sounds of Violence. All right, this question is, who was this fighter speaking to? Not who is the fighter speaking. Who is the fighter speaking to? Who is he talking about?
Who the fuck is that guy? Who the fuck is...
All right, so who was he speaking about? This was at a press conference. It's a famous line. Jeremy Stevens.
Who the fuck is that guy?
Aaron True. That is true. It is Jeremy Stevens. Good job, sir. Good job. I would be surprised if someone didn't get that one, though. Mine autocorrect last name, thanks. No problem. No, I knew what you were typing. You were the first one, right? Yep, and I go back, and then everybody else had it. Dutch guy had it just about. I expected everyone to have that one just about. I couldn't remember who the fook it was, but remembered face and their fighting Zabit next. There's so many good fights coming up. And something Chael brought up today. I was listening to Chael Sonnen's podcast today from Monday. And something he brought up was they're not talking about all these fights coming on ESPN. ESPN isn't making a huge push right now. I mean, we're less than a month away. Yesterday was a month away from the first UFC card. January 19th will be Henry Cejudo versus TJ Dillashaw. And there has been very little on ESPN or ESPN Plus. I haven't seen any of it. But apparently those people that watch a lot of ESPN, there has not been a big push. With Fox, I don't know if you guys remember, there was a huge push. So it could be, and Ariel Helwani speculated to this, that it could be that possibly it's in respect to Fox because they have a contract running through the end of the year. So they're not going to start pushing it until the first, or that possibly they're not allowed to start pushing it until the first. I remember watching that, says Miko. What's up? What's up, Javier? Cody was the tough show. Damn. If I take off my Wi-Fi and use data 4G, my responses don't lag and it shows real time better for the trivia. Nice. I'm glad you figured that out. Yeah, so depending on the time, sometimes my Wi-Fi will be faster, sometimes my 4G will be faster. Gastelum versus Whittaker should be a good scrap. That is a great one, man. That is a great one, but I feel like we're always looking forward to the next card, and it's really fun to look forward 3-4 cards ahead. But I just feel like this card right now, right here, it's so good that I don't want to look ahead to anything else. For once, I'm very concentrated on the card at hand. Jones versus Gustafsson 2. Like I said, I may be more excited about that than I've been just about anything in a very, very long time. And let's bring it up real quick, actually. I'm going to bring it up, and Jason Azevedo, he's not here yet today. He may be a little upset. No, I don't know, but I'm going to bring up the display capture, and let's look at this card a little bit, because I am so damn excited about this card. But Jason showed me that the best way to look at the UFC now is actually on the Canadian side. Because the US side, I don't know what they're doing on it. They're in some kind of transition, but it absolutely sucks. The site it's not good right now in my opinion. So the Canadian site, they're continuing to update it just like they were the US site. Looks exactly the same. It's just UFC.ca. ESPN only cares about LeBron, hates ESPN. Oh, hate ESPN. Yeah, Honestly, I have not watched ESPN. I don't remember the last time I watched ESPN. I've looked at the ESPN Plus some because I tried their trial. I wanted to see what was going on there. And I mean, obviously, for this, for the channel, and because I'm such a damn huge UFC fan, I mean, of course, I'm going to have ESPN Plus. I mean, there's so much on there that it doesn't make sense not to. $5 a month, and we're going to get so many damn good fights. The only thing I worry about sometimes is I worry about the UFC getting shoved behind a bunch of other sports. You would think with ESPN and Disney putting $4 billion down, though, or excuse me, $1 billion, I guess $4 billion what the UFC sold for. ESPN's paying $1.5 billion over 5 years. You would think after investing that kind of money that they would be pretty serious about it. Yeah, Condit also fights. Gastelum earned this shot 3 times over almost. I always have underestimated Kelvin Gastelum, and I'll tell you, maybe it's time to stop underestimating him. This is to end the year out, though. This, on paper, I know maybe we say this a lot, and I think I say it a lot after the fact, that is best card. On paper, I believe this may be the best card of the year, and this has been, I think this is a highly underestimated year of UFC. I think we've been so inundated with fights, honestly, that we've gotten spoiled. I think that we will look back at this year and be like, man, remember how great 2018 was for fighting? There may not have been, the stars might have been absent and in and out here and there, but there was so many good fights, so many cards. Some of them were missing the storyline, but you had great fights. Condit comes back. Even Brian Kelleher watching fighting Montel Jackson. That's, Curtis Millender from Contender. Uriah Hall versus Bevon Lewis from Contender. Uriah Hall's always entertained. That's on the UFC Fight Pass card. Uriah Hall is on the Fight Pass card. Then you have Nathaniel Wood versus Andre Ewell. You got BJ Penn coming back to fight Ryan Hall. Agree with that about number of fights. What's up, David Keller? Yeah, there's so many fights this year. And maybe it was quantity over quality as far as giving enough time to hype things up. And I think this is really good that we just had such an awesome card. We had Kevin Lee versus Ali Quinta. It gives everybody something to talk about. I mean, that was an incredible fight in my mind. And now we have a week in between. I'm going to do boxing. I'm going to do the Fox Boxing with the Charlo brothers, a live stream this Saturday. But everybody has a week to miss the UFC. And we also have a week for the build-up. You have an entire week where there's going to be nothing going on except for people talking about Jon Jones versus Gustafsson. And I think this is good for the sport. I think it's good for that pay-per-view. Kat Zingano versus Megan Anderson. Do not sleep on Megan Anderson. That is a great matchup. How you seeing the old UFC website format? Go to UFC.ca. It's the Canadian site. Jason Azevedo told me about it. They didn't screw their site up yet. Otherwise, if it wasn't for him, I would not have known about this. Whoever's running their site over on the U.S. side, I'm sorry, you're complete idiots. They need to fire that person. But Andrei Arlovsky versus Walt Harris. Walt Harris has got 100% knockout ratio. 100%. He's lost 7 fights, but every single fight he's won by knockout. Andrei Arlovsky, of course, a legend. He's been around forever. Jones is bad for the sport and replays that a cheater is best ever. I'm guessing Jones will be slow as AF now. It'll be interesting to see what he comes out as. Megan Anderson doesn't seem to have a ground game. And Kat has very good wrestling. I think her jiu-jitsu is a bit overrated. She really doesn't. I mean, to look at her submissions, I'm trying to think. Yeah, she's got 30% submission rate. So what's that, like 2 submissions? So I don't think she'll be in trouble of submission, but she could definitely get taken down a lot. Chad Mendes versus Alexander Volkanovski. They were talking about on MMA Junkie. This could be the upset of the year, right here. Alexander Volkanovski versus Chad Mendes. I was gonna see if they don't have the odds on here right now, but Chad Mendes is a heavy favorite coming into this. He's like a 4-1 favorite, and Alexander Volkanovski could definitely knock him off. Andre is known for his chin and will outslug Harris. It's a great matchup for a guy with few ears and good chin like AA. Said nobody. I just want to see Kat maul people with knees again. She was fun to watch live. She was fun. That was funny. On the Boise card, I got Chad Mendes and Kat Zagano were on that card. But and then Ilir Latifi and Corey Anderson. Corey Anderson's been on a tear. I feel like Corey Anderson's kind of turned a page. Recently in his last 2 wins over Patrick Cummings and very impressive win over Glover Teixeira. You can see he outstruck him by quite a bit after coming back from his losses to Ovin St. Preux and Jimmy Manawa. But you see the last 2 fights before that, he was knocked out. So Ilir Latifi's definitely got that power. We'll come back to the rest of this card here in a minute. Let's go back and play some trivia though. Let's get into the next sounds of MMA here. Latifi wins easy, the hammer. Megan is all hype, but Kat hasn't been the old Kat since the Reebok deal. She finally came back in her last fight, and I don't know if you guys watched her on Joe Rogan. She talked about having CTE from her fight with Amanda Nunes. She actually went through a very lengthy CTE rehab center. I believe she may still be going. I think she was at the time. She was going to something that wounded soldiers and things were going to. She said it was very helpful. She said it was healing for her brain. They were doing a lot of cutting edge stuff there, and she said it was very good. Her fight with Mines was intense. Or Nunez. Yeah, it was. That episode was scary, to be honest. Yeah, it was. She fought Amanda Nunez just about as well as anybody has. And I really want to break down that Amanda Nunez Chris Cyborg fight, because to have both of those fights on the same card, I believe that may be the best fight in women's history. I think for all intents and purposes, it should be. Amanda Nunes versus Chris Cyborg. I mean, Jermaine Durandamy, one of the greatest strikers on earth, left the title. She vacated the title and says, I'll fight on the undercard. Just please do not throw me in there with Chris Cyborg. Amanda Nunes said, I'm already the champion at 135. I want this. She asked for this fight. What does she see, or what does she think she sees that nobody else has seen? I mean, Holly Holm took her the distance, but it was very much, a fight of survival. She beat her, didn't she? Kat won. Kat finished Nunes, yes. But that was a back and forth crazy fight. That's one I haven't watched in a long time either. That's one of those fights that I need to go back and watch. All right, this is going to be definitely another speed test for whoever gets this. So tell me, whose voice is this?
Hey, I'm not surprised, motherfuckers.
I don't think I'll need to replay that one. Who's going to get that one first? Cyborg beats Nunez in a match. Aaron True, it is Nate Diaz. You are correct, sir. One of the greatest sound bites in MMA history. And pretty much, I think just about everybody. What's up, ES Fitness? Savage. Chuck Norris. Cyborg will win. Geeky Spartan says, I was first. Not on my screen. I see Aaron True just before you, Geeky Spartan. People clapping. What's up, Comedic Genius? Comedic Genius in the house. All hell, Comedic Genius. One more round of applause. We had 25 people in here. Please hit that like button. I think most of you are probably subscribed, but if you're not subscribed here, please hit that subscription button. Ring that bell to make sure you're notified whenever we go live. And definitely check out Dutch Guy. MMA Newsroom. He does the breakdowns. I do more of the live streams and the trivias and things like that. He works with me. He does all the graphics and everything on this channel. But he uses those graphics in some incredible breakdown channels. So if you're not subscribed to MMA Newsroom, Dutch Guy, if you want to put up a link for that, that would be awesome. He is great over there at MMA Newsroom. Aaron True, you first. Geeky was third on my chat. He was second on my chat. That is. Oh no, you were third. Yeah, it was Aaron, Zoltan, and then Geeky Spartan. That's what I have on mine. Is Greg Hardy fighting tonight? He's supposed to be fighting on Fight Pass on Island Fights 51. But I didn't see him on the fight card anywhere. I thought he got moved over to ESPN, over to the ESPN card, but I don't know if that's still the case. I'm actually gonna look at that real quick because the last time I looked on there, he was no longer listed. There was a lot of controversy over him being on the card with Rachel Ostovich, and now when I look at it, he is not on there. Alonzo Menafield versus Vinicius Castro is still on there, which is a great fight. And so I just talked to Dutch Guy about let's stay with the card at hand, so I don't want to get too far off track. But yeah, I believe that fight was canceled. Greg in the UFC, I thought. Yeah, he's in the UFC now. It's hard to tell. It shows up different, huh? Yeah, that's what I have on mine. He's in the card with the girl with domestic violence issues, so it was weird. Yeah, he's not listed on there now. So I don't know. It appears possibly that UFC has caved to the pressure. So, I mean, I don't know. That's what it looks like to me, though. And that wouldn't surprise me. I mean, I kind of expected that to be the way that it goes. I mean, 2018 is the year of being offended. So not that there's anything, that people shouldn't be upset about domestic abuse, but As Ostrovich said herself, this guy, he didn't have an incident with me. Greg Hardy didn't have an incident with me. He has nothing to do with me. So I thought it's an accurate statement. I mean, I don't know how you can argue with it. Thought she had a busted orbital bone. I guess injuries weren't as bad as what they thought. They were still pretty bad. I mean, she's a tough girl to come back and fight. But what's up, Seven? Seven in the house. Rachel Ostovich, yeah. You guys talk Floyd versus Tension yet? Your thoughts? We have not, Beowulf. We're talking right now. We're talking Jones and Gustafsson, but we could possibly get into that. The one question I will have out there is I want to throw it out there right now. Does anybody speak Japanese? That's the only thing I need to know. Can anyone translate Japanese? Can you read it? Because I'm trying to figure out how to watch Ryzen on New Year's. And it's on Fuji TV. So I switched my VPN. I changed my computer, VPN, over to Japan as if I'm watching in Japan. But then I can't read Japanese. So I'm not able to see when they're going to have it or, when the fight's supposed to be. So if there's anybody out there that can translate Japanese for me or know somebody, it would be greatly appreciated. No one would be talking about Greg Hardy fighting coming up at all or ever watch if not for the Rachel thing. Yeah, and to be fair to Greg Hardy, that's not his fault. Now, what happened before that? That made me look into it more. Worries me very much so. I believe he was guilty of domestic abuse. I mean, there was a lot of pictures of his girlfriend. He's a woman beater, so I can't respect the guy. If you're going to have him on a card, there's no reason to not have him on this card any more than anybody else. But like I always say, there's never a reason to hit a woman. I mean, maybe if they pull a gun on you and you're about to get shot or they're about to shoot up a synagogue or a church or something, a school. Be outside of that, I never see a reason, especially if you're a super athlete. It's like, come on. I hope an Egyptian sumo wrestler trips and falls on Floyd at Ryzen. Floyd seems to think that, Chael seems to think that Floyd's in a lot of trouble. And the way they do things over in Japan, I think he may be right. Drinking game NYE is going to be every time Tension head kicks Floyd. You do a shot or a shot. Oh, geez. Road FC, Korean Ring Girl. All right, let's go into the next one here. The next sound, Sounds of Violence. So, who is this?
I just knocked you out in the first round. Cold. Have you seen that replay, buddy? Your head was bouncing around like a pinball machine.
I watched it.
Yeah, watch it again. Obviously didn't sink in.
Zoltan, you are correct. It is Bisping. I thought that might throw somebody off. I used the same fighter twice in the night, but it did not throw Zoltan off. It was against Rockford. Yeah. All right. You guys were all over that one. Zoltan had it first. Then what's up, Art Luttrell? And then Geeky Spartan had it. Spook Show, and then Seven. It was against Rockhold. So you were definitely close there, Seven. But Zoltan had it first, and that puts Zoltan in the lead with 2,000 points. For those of you that haven't watched as many of these, there will be a trophy at the end of the season. I will be sending it to whoever wins. It will have on the top the Fights with Friends logo. Then it will have MMA Trivia Season 1 Champion. It will have your name engraved on the bottom of it. I've already talked to it's a local company. I'm having an order from a local trophy company. There has been a different winner every single week except for one person has won 2 weeks, and that's DG. And then there will be a second prize for the person with the most points. That's Jason Azevedo at this point. He's not in here right now, though. DG is a close second, actually, for that as well. I'm not going to give away 2 prizes, though, so you get one or the other. And that's going to be a T-shirt and some other, like a care package from me. And then third place is going to be a T-shirt from Dutch Guy, sponsored by MMA Newsroom. Mary Poppins has that. Yeah, I thought he was top. Don't I have 2,000 points also? Oh, excuse me, Aaron True. Yes, we have 2 with 2,000 points. I thought I missed one there. All right, so we're going into 2,000 point land. These ones are going to get a little harder. Or actually, I'm sorry, I got one more that's 1,000 points, and then the last 2 are 2,000. Or do you have merch? I am having merch made right now. I don't have anything for sale right now at the moment. My wife's out of town in California, actually. But she just bought a T-shirt press and some other things. So we're going to have some merch. We're going to give away some merch, and then we're going to start selling it. Next question here, though. For 1,000, last one for 1,000 points.
If I want your opinion, I will beat it out of you.
What's up, Spook Show? You guys talk BJ Penn yet? I'm hoping he can pull off a win. Hall's got amazing BJJ, but been inactive too. All right, that was a short. R. Luttrell. You got it, sir. That is Chael P. Sonnen. For 1,000 points. Great job, sir. Great job. All right. This is still anybody's game. We have 2 questions left, but these last 2 are worth 2,000 apiece. Pulse Reloaded with 1,000 points. Zoltan with 2. R. Luttrell with 1,000 points. Zoltan and Aaron True each with 2,000 points. Now we have 2 questions. For 2,000 each, so there are 4,000 points on the board. Or we could have a 4-way tie going into overtime, potentially. That one geeky did get, I thought. Let me go back. Did I? Oh, I'm sorry, Geeky Spartan. Excuse me. Thank you very much for keeping me honest. Thank you, Aaron True. That was Geeky Spartan with 1,000 points. You guys were so fast. I didn't see it. Sorry, R. Luttrell, for the... I was a little early on that one. 2 people that actually had gotten before. But, yeah, great job. So it seems like R. Luttrell showed up first, but then I must have just missed yours. That was quick, so sorry about that. I got you, Geeky. I play clean. Ring girl. All right, the next 2 questions will be for 1,000 points. First, let's talk about, though, the Jones versus Gustafsson fight. You guys that have watched it recently, I put up a link to it. The fight is free on UFC right now. What do you guys think? what did you score? Like I said, I slowed the fight down and broke it up into 30-second sections. Thanks. A 4-way tie, or as I like to say, the devil's square. Man, I hope Gus wins it. I'm very torn on who I think will win the second one. I feel like Jones is going to knock him out this time. As we go through this, like I said, I'll tell you who I thought won certain rounds. I thought I gave Alexander Gustafsson the first round. I'll give you that for now, and I'll come back to it. It was close. I think Gus won the last fight. It was close. I talked to Dutch Guy about this. I think I told him who I had winning that fight. And I will tell you, my decision would have changed if this fight had been after 2016. But there are new rules in judging since then, slightly. And I'll explain that when I go into it. Let's get into the next trivia question, though. Like I said, for 2,000 points. All right, this one for 2,000 points. Who is this? This is during a press conference.
Shut the fuck up.
This got very, very heated. And so...
Shut the fuck up about, hey, don't talk about my mom for one. Don't you ever talk about my mom. Don't you ever talk about my fucking mom. Don't you ever talk about my fucking mom.
Mama, dad, whatever, like whatever you want to call it.
I'm going to smack the fuck out of you right now. Don't you ever talk about my mom.
Aaron, I believe that was it. First, Aaron True, Michael Chiesa. That is correct. Great job, Aaron True. And that puts Aaron in sole possession of first place. So we are playing for points right now for who will be second and third. But Aaron True, congratulations. You are the second person to win 2 weeks. You and DG are out of 10 weeks are the only two to win 2 separate weeks. So DG, you have somebody else with you. If there is a tie towards the end, we will have a playoff and it will be just 2 of you on New Year's Eve, and we might have to get something together through a call-in, through either Google Voice or Skype, so only you two can answer. 7, Kevin Lee. One of them was Kevin Lee, but it was Michael Chiesa that was talking about. It says, don't talk about my mom like that. It's one of the reasons that a lot of people aren't real fond of Kevin Lee, and I kind of thought maybe Kevin Lee had learned his lesson after listening to him on Joe Rogan, and I lost respect for him again after he said, after Khabib told him to be humble, and he said F being humble. So that pretty much turned me from being a Kevin Lee fan at this time. Autocorrecting you. Oh, it's tough with autocorrect on the names. I believe you can turn it on. I don't know if this mine have an autocorrect. Yes, it does if you're on iPhone. If you're on iOS. I don't know about Android. I maybe picked Gus round 3 grand a pound. Not YouTube does autocorrect. It's Android or iOS. Yeah. See, I have mine set up on my YouTube to where it uses the iOS keyboard, though. That way I can use all the little stupid emojis and bullshit. Kevin Lee looked like Chip and Dancer last night in the pre-fight circle. Yeah, it sucks, Nate. It's that short guy. You can turn your I've actually turned my autocorrect off. And if you turn your autocorrect off, it will still give you suggestions up above. But I find I have a lot less screw-ups in like emails and different things. So, this MMA trivia, sponsored right now, though, by Onnit. Go to Onnit, O-N-I-T-T, O-N-N-I-T, of course, onnit.com. And check them out because they're paying me. So, they're paying for sponsoring this, so I probably better mention them. And Dutch guy had another logo that I just seen a minute ago too. He's got one with a bunch of cool stuff on there. But check out Onnit Total Human Optimization. Shout out to them. Honestly, Alpha Brain. I do have to talk about this for a minute because Alpha Brain has been huge for me. If you went back and you looked at some of my streams and you've seen some of the ones where I was kind of foggy and I was really searching for fighters' names, and it kind of seemed like I was off my game. A lot of those, if you went back, I didn't have my Alpha Brain that time. And that's 100% the truth. Not that Alpha Brain is the only nootropic supplement out there that can help you. I just believe in nootropics. Whether you buy them from Onnit or wherever you buy them from, it works. And this group of supplements that they have, it works. I've also tried New Mood now. If you want something to just kind of chill you out, you can take it at work if you're a little stressed. When you can't have a beer, as I open another beer here because it's almost another beer 30. You can't have beer at work. You can grab that New Mood and it just chills you out just a little bit. I have heard good things about Shroom Tech, as well as an enhancer for performance, that's drug-free. I haven't used that one myself, so I can't speak to that. I can definitely mostly speak to Alpha Brain. That's the best one. And if you're drinking, if you're mixing some alcoholic drinks, Rye Brain. I don't know if you guys have heard of it, but they have a powder now. You put the Alpha Brain powder into a whiskey and make yourself a drink. It's called Rye Brain, and it's very tasty, and it gives you an interesting outlook. It's an interesting buzz. It's a little more introspective, I believe. I like the feeling. It's that short guy. Kevin looked like hell. Minus Nate Connor, real confidence. Kevin equals fake confidence. I had Alpha Brain. It gave me Lincoln. Shroom Tick gave me whiskey. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, I don't listen to what Comedic Genius says. No. Every supplement gives people different results, different things. Now, I have to go into full disclosure on this. I have replaced a medication that I was taking for ADHD. I was taking methylphenidate. It is the generic for Ritalin. It's absolutely horrible for you. And I replaced it with a nootropic. I stopped taking that drug. Highly addictive, but great for focus. And I stopped taking that drug for adult ADHD. I am required by Alpha Brain in my contract to tell you guys that Alpha Brain makes absolutely no medical claims, and I am not allowed to make any medical claims about any of their supplements. Please, you have to consult a doctor, a professional physician about that kind of thing. I'm just sharing my opinion and my personal belief on that. on it is very clear that none of their supplements can be used to diagnose any kind of sickness and any kind of illness, any disease, and they make no claims to that. So now we got that out of the way. But I really do appreciate on it. Was looking for a great sponsor for a long time. I got another one that I'm going to go into in my next stream for a few different things coming up in the next stream that I'll tell you guys about. But thank you for your patience on that. And we should all thank on it because it really, my paycheck has hurt severely the last 6 weeks since I was spending a lot more time on some of the videos. I'm still not really fast at editing together videos and things like that. And I gave up a lot of overtime at work, about 10 to 15 hours a week for about 5-6 weeks. And that puts a pretty big dent. It's grown the channel, and I have a bigger check coming from Google ad revenues. They are just very, very slow about getting a check to me. I haven't gotten a check from them in over 2 months. So enough of that, though. Joe Rogan will make you his butt plug. Jesus, automatic butt plugs. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think Joe Rogan advertises as much anymore now that he's part owner of the company. But let's get into, actually, you know what? First, let's dive into this card just a little bit more before we do our last question here. And then I'm going to go through and I'm going to say I gave round 1, the first fight, I gave round 1 to Alexander Gustafsson. I also gave round 2 to Alexander Gustafsson. So I'll give you that much. So let's go back over here to this card, though. As you see, Dutch guy helping me out with all those graphics, and he will be on the mic with me for UFC 232, and you have no idea how much easier that makes it, not just to transition things during the stream, but when you're streaming for 5-6 hours, man, I really appreciate that guy. It's very helpful. So like I said, one more time, I'll throw it out there. If you haven't subscribed to his channel, make sure you check out his channel. He's an awesome guy, and he does all the editing over on this channel, graphics, because I suck at that stuff. Guy we heard from earlier, Michael Chiesa, moving up to 170 pounds. Will he get some power as he moves up? Will he have more energy for not making that weight cut? And he's going against Carlos Condit, who has not really looked himself in the last couple fights. He was actually, if I'm not mistaken, I thought he had temporarily retired. I could be mistaken. He is on a 4-fight losing streak, though, since losing the title and split decision to Robbie Lawler in Fight of the Night in January 2016. Then a 3-fight losing streak after that. Damian Maia, Neil Magny. Nothing against Neil Magny, but that was very surprising. And then his last match in April, submitted by Alex Oliveira. So that's not the Carlos Condit that fought Nick Diaz and George St. Pierre. Please win, Condit. Can I order a t-shirt with Young David on it with it saying, smell my finger? Or what does this smell like? That's hilarious. I don't think it... I would have to run that by David. I had to talk him into the shirt of Young David, bring me another beer. He wasn't fully on board for that one even to begin with. But he says for now he's fine, but he's going to want some royalties from that one. So I'm going to pitch him a little bit of money. He'll be 18 in 2 days. So, excuse me, one day, tomorrow. Today's the 20th. Tomorrow is his 18th birthday. He's actually in California over there for Christmas. Yesterday, though, we gave him his birthday present early, and he's got floor seats to Ozzy Osbourne. That's his favorite artist of all time. Ozzy Osbourne and Megadeth will be playing in the Tacoma Dome, so that was young David's present there. Man, I haven't had Hurricane in forever. I don't think I can handle that anymore. Kiesa wins easy. Condit too slow. Yes, he did retire. I'm pretty sure. That's what I thought. Rooting for Condit, but he's lost 3 or 4. Vitor retired. Vitor said he's making a comeback now too, though. Maybe Condit is one of those USADA guys. USADA killed the UFC. Royalties isn't a roof and foot enough, Mikey? Yeah, you would think so, comedic. But before we get into this last question, let's break this down. Chris Cyborg versus Amanda Nunes. I mean, honestly, this should be, I believe, the best female fight of all time. And, I mean, this is the co-main event. This is crazy. Amanda Nunes has been on an absolute tear. We were talking about that loss to Kat Zingano years back. And you know, her only other loss since 2011 was to Alexis Davis. I don't count things really that happened 7 years ago, though. She's a much different fighter than then, and even a much different fighter than 4 years ago when she lost to Kat Zingano. Knocks out Shayna Baszler in the first round. Submits Sarah McMahon in the first round. Wins a unanimous decision over Valentina Shevchenko, who just made Joanna Jędrzejczyk look like an absolute amateur in their 125-pound bout. Submits Miesha Tate in the first round performance, and that's something even Ronda Rousey couldn't do. And I know Amanda Nunes beat Ronda later, but Ronda definitely, you can't doubt her submission game. She did the first time around. The second time around, Miesha made it past that first round, though. And then, of course, the knockout of Ronda, retired Ronda. Then she beat Valentina Shevchenko again. It was close. It was a split decision. And then absolutely pounded Raquel Pennington. I mean, you can see the striking, 124-64. I mean, just, it should not have went to a 5th round. But that's to take nothing away from Amanda Nunes. I highly criticized Raquel Pennington's corner for that fight. Vitor is jacked again. Yeah, he's going to Japan. I'm pretty damn sure he'll end up in Ryzen. Nunes gets tired. Vitor should go to Ryzen. I believe that's what's going to happen, Norris. I think Nunes could dance around Cyborg, could be a good one. I think she can beat her. Yeah, she lost both those fights to Bullet. Everyone knew how the Rocky fight was going to go. Oh, the Rocky Fielding versus Canelo Alvarez? Yeah. I mean, Canelo was impressive. I mean, I still give it to him. He was impressive, but yeah, that's it wasn't a huge surprise. So let's go into the last one. This one is going to be a bit harder, even though I've been talked about how I've reached a bit deep on some of these questions. Made them a bit too much research for some people, but who is this?
I do not remember seeing that mark on your forehead. Where did that come from?
So, of course, that was Ariel Helwani, but it's who he's talking to.
It's a delicate question, you know. I had a late training in my room, so a few ladies came and they make us question.
I knew this was said.
So it was Ariel Helwani speaking to him, but who is he speaking to?
I do not remember seeing that mark on your forehead. Where did that come from?
It's a delicate question, you know. I had a late training in my room, so a few ladies came and they make a scratch.
So he said, I had some late training. A few ladies came. And next question. It's not Artem Lobov. It is not GDS. Not Khabib. No. You guys are getting close on the accent. I don't know if
I do not
get this
remember seeing that mark on your forehead. Where did that come from?
It's a delicate question, you know. I had a late training in my room, so a few ladies came and they make a scratch.
I knew this was sick.
It is not Khabib, no. It definitely sounds like Khabib. It's not Khabib, though. I'll give you some clues. He is scheduled to... They're talking about him fighting in Bellator here soon. It is not Gegard. It is not Pitbull, no. They're talking about him fighting in Bellator soon. He is a UFC alumni. He is also a Ryzen alumni. Untrue, no clue. All right, and if that doesn't give it away, his first fight, Dana White bought a billboard, a huge billboard in Las Vegas with this guy on it for his first fight against Gabriel Gonzaga. I'll play it again.
I do not remember seeing that mark on your forehead. Where did that come from?
It's a delicate question, you know. I had a late training in my room, so a few ladies came and they make a scratch.
It is not Ngannou. So his first fight coming into the UFC with a lot of praise coming into his first fight, a lot of hype. Aaron True. It is Crow Cop. You are correct, sir. That was damn close. What's up, me? You were very, very close, sir. Aaron True, another applause, though. Spectacular night, sir. 6,000 points. Aaron True becomes only the second person ever to win 2 weeks. So you're in the lead for the trophy, and you are also in the lead for the points right now for second place. Like I said, one person will not get 2 prizes. But if you get beaten out by someone for the trophy, you're in the lead on the points right now. Damn, Crop, yeah. Yeah, I had to dig deep to find that one. I was looking through a bunch of different sounds of MMA fighters and things, and that one, if I had good internet, I would win this every week now, I know. Hey. You figured it out. JT's got to come back. JT 360. He came damn close to running the table. I think with 12 or 13, I want to say he got like 11 out of either 12 or 13 one week. I mean, he got a lot, but I believe this is a little too early for him. I believe he is in kickboxing practice right now, and he lives just about 30 miles from me. I've never met him in person. He's just told me where he lives, and it's about 30 miles from me. He was supposed to tell me when he was having a fight, though. I told him I'd go down there and watch him, but I guess he didn't want me going down there to watch him. So, no. So, let's go into the main event, though. So, Jones versus Gustafsson. This is how let's look at what Gustafsson's done recently first. Lost to Daniel Cormier also in a split decision. Crazy how he lost 2 split decisions. Well, I guess Jon Jones wasn't a split decision, but 2 pretty controversial decisions to 2 champions. Then, of course, he got destroyed by Anthony Johnson in there in between. And then he looked very good in his last matchup against Glover Teixeira. A lot of people forget he has not fought since May of 2017 as well. Jones' last fight was around the same time. His fight against Daniel Cormier was in July, so it's actually been 2 months longer since Gustafsson fought. So what happens between these two, and they don't have any odds for whatever reason here. I'm sure somebody's got some odds out this for by now. Are you going to rewatch Fight with Chat? Yeah, if you guys want to watch it, let's rewatch the Fight with Chat. I wasn't sure how many people were actually going to want to sit through that much, so I wanted to make sure we got the trivia out of the way. And we got some of those things, but I'm going to put up the link. I'm going to put up the link to that fight here real quick. Let me get in there and put that up, and I think we're going to go through it. And those of you that do want to watch it, and we'll talk about how we scored each round. The fight is free on YouTube right now. UFC YouTube vid already has 3.3 million views for first fight. So, like I said, I've watched this several times. And I watch it without the sound. So I'm going to turn off my desktop audio just so I don't run any risk of getting any kind of copyright strike from YouTube. Even though it's on YouTube, that doesn't matter. You can't show things. You can't show anybody's videos actually on YouTube. You can't restream their videos. That's a big no-no. So it looks like you will have to watch probably like a 15-second ad first. Then I'll put the link up, and we'll all try to sync up those that want to watch the fight as you go through. And then I want you guys to tell me what you're seeing as you go through it. I'm gonna put the link up, but I'm actually gonna put the link up not at the very beginning of the fight. Or not at the very beginning of the video. I'm going to put it up at the very beginning of the fight so we don't have to sit through the intros or anything like that. It looks like it's going to be at about 2:50, 2 minutes and 50 seconds. So that's the link I'm going to put in the chat right now. So if you want to continue on the chat, of course, you'll need to have 2 browsers open. Unfortunately, if you're on a phone, I'm not quite sure how you're going to do that. So I apologize for that. So there is the link to the fight right there, and I have it at 2:50. I'm going to wait a little while before I start it so we can all be on the same page as we start it. And I'll tell you guys exactly when they touch gloves and when they walk down to the cage. Saying it can't be reached. I don't know. I just hit the link and it went right there for me. Type in Jon Jones versus Alexander Gustafsson full fight if it doesn't come up for you. The link worked for me. Has it worked for anybody else? If Jon Jones peed in an Olympic-sized swimming pool, the pool would test positive. I like it, Cuck Norris. Norris with the comment of the night there. All right. Anybody else? Tell me if the link works for anyone. It works for me. Thank you, Beowulf. So what we're gonna do is watch this, and if you will humor me, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to commentate this myself, for what I see, and then you guys tell me what you guys are seeing. I have not listened to the actual commentary on this fight in years. I rewatched it, like I said, several times without the volume, because I did not want to be persuaded by what was happening or by what the commentators were saying. It is Joe Rogan and Goldie. If you want to listen to them instead of me, those are the guys that are on there. But I would like to know at the end, and I'll give you guys a few more minutes. I can't get in it fit for some reason. Sync time. Let me get on computer. All right. I'll give you some time. No rush. No rush. So the link should be at 2:30, and we will all sync up. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it right to where it starts, and I'll tell you guys. I'm gonna pause it right before the round starts, and then we'll sync up. Works fine for me. Which country are you from? Oh, yeah, it may be a country-to-country thing. Sometimes that is an issue. All right, so it looks like 3:13 on the actual video is when John McCarthy calls them to the center of the cage. What's up, DJ Mexicano? You missed trivia, but we are about to go through the Jon Jones Gustafsson fight, and I'm going to commentate through it. The link is there right there, so you can listen to Joe Rogan and Goldie, or you can listen to me, and please let me know down there in the comments what you see as you're watching. I'm going to give everybody a little bit more time to get synced up. I am at 3:13 right now. Anybody who wants to watch through and comment on this, let me know, and I'll give you a little more time. I tried to give it to Gus because everybody said he won, but when I watch it without commentary, it's clear John win. Yeah, like I said, I watched it again, and I scored it in 30-second increments. I actually took a piece of paper and tallies, and I broke each round, into 10 separate rounds. And then I would watch 30 seconds and I would give a fighter a round. And if they just squeaked it by, I would give, there was a couple I gave a half a point for a squeak by. And then if I thought that they definitely won that 30 seconds, I would give them a full point. And then whoever had the most points at the end of a round, that's how I scored it. So I broke it down even, a little more than what the judges typically do. All right, let me sync the fight real quick. No problem. Like I said, I'm at 3 minutes and 13 seconds. Right now, and that sounds like a good time for a bathroom break. So I'm going to take a quick bathroom break if you guys don't mind. And anybody else that needs one, so anybody that comes in, let them know. I will be right back. Go ahead and sync up, like I said, 3:31. All right. Thank you for all the thumbs up. Like I said, if there's anybody new here, please make sure and hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification button to make sure you're notified anytime I go live. Excuse me. Or post the new video. And hopefully we could do some more of these. Fight that I haven't rewatched in a little while, but a fight that I did not agree with the official decision on because of the new rules was Yoel Romero and Robert Whittaker 2. So if you guys are interested in it, I'd like to do that one again sometime. All right, are you synced up, DJ Mexicano? All right, 21 watching. I am going to go ahead and start it. Right now, I'm going to commentate through here. If you guys just ask me, and I'll tell you where I am as far as synced up. But right now, I am at 3:13 as far as the video clock, and I'm going to start it right now. Jones and Gustafsson touch gloves, and they reach the center of the cage. Alexander Gustafsson lands a low leg kick. Jones with a leg kick back. Gustafsson with a straight right and a left to the body. Nice low leg kick from Jones and a 1-2 from Gustafsson. And a body kick from Gustafsson. This is the first time that Jon Jones went. Nice spinning kick to the body there from Jones and a side kick to the knee. Jones going for the takedown. Great takedown defense there from Alexander Gustafsson. This would be the first time that Jon Jones went into the cage with somebody his own size and height. He did, however, have about a 5-inch reach advantage this night. I don't know if maybe some people do forget that part, even though the height was the same. Nice kick to the body there from Jones. And Gustafsson throwing that jab out there. A couple side kicks to the knee there from Jones. And a jab a minute into this. Front kick from Jones. Like I said, this is definitely nice low leg kick there from Gustafsson and a front kick to the knee. A minute in, I would give it slightly to Jones. There's Superman punch for Jones and a body kick. But we are only a minute and a half into this fight. Oh, nice left hand over the top there from Gustafsson after another kick to the knee from Jones. And they exchanged leg kicks again. Jones' leg kick appeared to be harder. Nice left hook from Alexander Gustafsson. His boxing was looking really good on this night. His hands a little lower than Jones. But his jabs get in there very quickly. Also using his front hand as a depth finder. Lands a kick to the body there. And a body punch. 250. I'm going to tell you when there's 250 right now left in the first round if you're trying to sync up. Gustafsson lands another leg kick there. And they are in the center of the cage. Gustafsson misses a jab. Jones, kind of lands a right there. And Gustafsson lands a knee to the body. Some of the angles are kind of hard to see what landed there. Nice low leg kick there from Alexander Gustafsson and a left hand over the top from Jones. Right hand from Gustafsson there. A pretty even round, I believe, up to this point. If not slightly for Jones. Left hand there lands for Gustafsson. Glances Jones. They both missed there. Coming down to the 2-minute mark. I'm going to tell you when I'm at 2 minutes. Right now. Nice low leg kick there for Jones. Spin kick to the body for Jones. Gustafsson goes back. Side kick to the knee for Jon Jones. Gustafsson continuing to move forward, pressing Jones like he'd never been pressed before. Jones misses the head kick there. Nice low leg kick, but a nice 1-2 there from Gustafsson. About a minute and a half left in this fight. Nice jab, and he grazes Jones with a right hand there. Jones now bleeding a little bit, it looks like, from his right eye. Nice low leg kick. They exchange low leg kicks there. Another low leg kick there from Jon Jones, a Superman punch from Gustafsson. And they each land a kick, 1:10 left in the first round. Very close up to this point. Nice spinning kick to the body there from Jones, and Gustafsson goes for the takedown. And that is the first time that Jon Jones has been taken down in his career. And he moves into side control on Jones. The youngest light heavyweight champion ever, and Jones gets back up. No damage done. Gustafsson gets on the bicycle a little bit. Jones with the pressures Gustafsson up against the fence here, but not landing yet. Goes for the spinning elbow, misses. McCarthy's going to break. Looks like Gustafsson got poked in the eye there. So he gets a little break here. I'm going to go to the comments. Norris said, I think UFC maybe had Gus's reach wrong, though I remembered reading something like that. I'm just going from the tail of the tape. But yeah, it doesn't seem to me. And you can see Jones pushes on Gustafsson's face there, and McCarthy's going to talk to him. There was controversy on that, too. Jon Jones did not want John McCarthy reffing his fight because he did not feel like John McCarthy would treat him fairly. That was a very interesting part of the fight. It's a big argument. Jon Jones, another spinning elbow attempt, misses there. Low leg kick on the top. Jon Jones goes for the takedown. Good takedown defense there. And Jones looks like he grazed him with an elbow there at the end. Okay. What's up, ACS? iPokestar, GSP on Joe Rogan podcast said that there's drugs to make you have confidence and senses heightened. Only suspicious of Jones. Hope Herb is not reffing second fight. Yeah, I don't know who the referee is yet, but like I said, Jon Jones was not happy that it was John McCarthy. He felt that he questioned John McCarthy's judgment, who I think John McCarthy's the greatest referee ever in the history of the UFC. But he didn't like the way that John McCarthy reffed, and he also came out and said, well, why does John McCarthy want to ref my fight if I don't want him? If somebody didn't want me to ref their fight, I wouldn't want to ref it. So Gustafsson's also got a cut underneath his eye. Up to this point, they each have a cut, and you see in the replay, Jones landing a big left elbow over the top. Jones round one easy. Those oblique kicks are a killer. Gus didn't do enough. So 7. So I actually gave the first round to Alexander Gustafsson. And under the new rules, I would have given it to Jon Jones. Under the old rules that were there at that time, because the new rules do not give significance to takedowns that do not cause damage. Now, under the old rules, takedowns were given significant damage in the time of dominant position. So I gave Gustafsson the first round because you have to go by the rules that were in place. These guys exchanged leg kicks in the center of the cage. Even though as many times I've watched it, though, Jones did better in that first round than I remembered. And Gustafsson picks off Jones's foot and takes him down for just a second. Jones chasing Gustafsson around the cage trying to get that takedown. Gustafsson still eluding it. Front kick to the knee for Jones, and Gus lands a left hand over the top. 4:20 left in the second round. Nice low leg kick there from Jon Jones. And a right hand, or a jab and a right hook over the top from Gustafsson. And Jones goes for the takedown. Again, unsuccessful. Nice right hand over the top lands there for Gus. New rules, forward pressure and aggressiveness. They do not judge going forward and aggressiveness at all. They're actually not supposed. You're not supposed to counter it at all if it is not meaningful aggression. Just because one fighter is moving forward in the new rules does not mean that they are the dominant fighter. Under the old rules, it seemed that it was, though. Jones lands a low leg kick there. Another low leg kick, and Gustafsson with the left hook over the top. Both the Jones brothers got popped for roids, right? Oh, that it does. Doesn't increase fight IQ. Nice knee to the body there from Gus from the clinch. 3:10 left in the second round. Nice low leg kick there from Jones. Remember, this fight was scored very closely by two of the three judges. Two of the three judges gave it to Jones by 1 point. Front kick to the body lands for Jones. Spinning kick to the body and a side kick to the knee there for Jones. A couple of hands from Gustafsson there. Another kick to the knee there from Jones. Gus lands a jab, but Jones lands two kicks here. And then a front kick. Watching this again, and Jones lands another head kick there. This is why I think it is important that sometimes we give referees the benefit of the doubt and judges the benefit of the doubt. Nice knee to the head there for Gustafsson. A nice left hook over the top there from Gus. You see the total strikes landed 41-39 for for Jones. So very close. A nice job there for Gus. Left uppercut underneath for Gus and a straight right. And a big 1-2 for Alexander Gustafsson. Another oblique kick, one of those spinning kicks to the body. Jones has landed several of those and lands a front kick to the knee. Now, what's more significant of a strike? One of those side kicks to the knee, a nice low leg kick there for Gustafsson, or a straight right, or a left hook. Jab there for Gustafsson. I consider, a light leg kick to be comparable to a jab. Some leg kicks, nice body kick there from Jones, but then Gustafsson catches the second one, flips Jones over for a second. Jones continuing to go for the takedown here, is not able to get the double leg or the trip, and Gustafsson has some very, very underrated takedown defense. That was absolutely amazing. Nobody has really been able to stuff Jon Jones from the takedown outside of Daniel Cormier like that. Jones lands a couple of good leg kicks, and Gustafsson with a straight right over the top. Jab and a kick to the body there for Gus. Another low leg kick lands for Jones. A jab there for Gus. And I'll tell you, I might be seeing this just a little bit differently than when I watched this a couple days ago. We're down to the last 30. Jones misses the head kick. Gustafsson misses the right hook. Nice right uppercut there from Gustafsson. A jab and a right hook. Very close round. Both of them very close rounds, the first two. Gus checked that leg kick. 10 seconds left in the second round. And a big jab and a right hook over the top for Gus. And that may have won him that round. I believe that was probably the difference maker on one of the scorecards. And it was on mine. At this point, I had Alexander Gustafsson ahead 2-0, but these rounds were so close. Let's go, Gus. Time. I have to disagree. I think it's the first on the list of reasons why it should be number one of Fight IQ, because aggressiveness keeps them on their heels, and it's in its own personal style. Hate to admit it, but me and the Joneses share the same hometown of Rochester, New York. If they no longer judge on aggressiveness, then Colby Covington is doomed. To me, that's all he has beyond stamina. I kind of agree. You should watch Gus's fights. I never underestimate his takedown defense, that badass, and it's actually next level at the weight class if you ask me. Absolutely. This is some of the best takedown defense we've seen in any light heavyweight matchup ever. Maybe the best. Seven says, I guess you can give that one to Alex Close. Jones with that octagon control. And that's a good point, Seven, and that was judged back then. Like I said, some of these are just like, it's like pulling hairs. They are so close. And here we go, round 3. Nice low leg kick there from Jon Jones. Jones misses over the top there, and Gus lands a straight right. Jones with the body kick. Gus with a straight right. Another low leg kick there from Jon Jones. Gus lands a couple more kicks here as Jones continues to move forward. Lands a low leg kick. Now, in the old rules, Gus checked that leg kick. A nice right hand there from Gus. In the old rules, the judges were also given a lot more discretion. The new rules are a lot clearer. Jones definitely had the accuracy on this night. Leg kicks, you can see, attempted to landed. He's landed most of them by that point. Nice knee to the body there from Jones. And Gustafsson on the bicycle. 3:50 left in the third round. Misses the jab to the body, lands the jab upstairs for Gus. Nice low leg kick lands for Jones. Straight right over the top for Gus. And a right hand to the body lands for Gus. Both fighters showing cuts on their face. That is something that judges are supposed to judge. Actually, Jones lands a nice kick there. Nice right uppercut there for Gus. Jab to the body, jab to the head from Gus. 3:15 left in the third round. Big right hand for Gus. Big one, too. And Jones lands a front kick to the body there. And a low leg kick. Gus misses the uppercut underneath. 3 minutes left in the third round. And Jones has switched stances several times in this. Nice right hand there for Gus. Jones lands a kick to the body. Gus with a kick to the body. And a low leg kick. Have either of these fighters changed much since the first fight? Jones pushing with the hand there again, open gloves. Nice left hook and a right uppercut there for Gus and a straight right for Gus. He lands a straight right to the body. A little over halfway through the third round now. Nice straight right for Gus. That was a solid shot. Jones misses the head kick. Gus lands another jab to the body there. Jones throws a couple jabs, misses both of them. 2:10 left. And Jones lands a right hand. And a front kick to that leg again. He really brutalized Gus's legs in this fight. If you're looking to sync up, I'll tell you when I'm at 150 again. Jones goes for the axe kick and misses there. Front kick to the body lands 150 now. A lot of posturing in the cage here. But not a lot of inactivity. Nice body kick there lands for Jones, and a left hand on top of it. Another very close round here. Gus missed that body kick there. And they exchange body shots there. Gus with the jab, Jones with the kick to the body, and then the low knee kick again. 1:15 left in the third round. Nice combination for Gus. Goes to the body and the head, back down to the body. And Gus lands a jab, goes for another takedown. Good takedown defense this time from Jon Jones. Another jab lands for Gus. You got to think, and a double jab lands for Gus right on that eye, and he's really busted Jon Jones' eye up now. Now, remember, like I said, that's something that the judges are supposed to consider. Jones throws a body kick, and Gus catches it this time. Gus gets on his bicycle. Nice right hand over the top, and a body kick there from Gus. Jones lands a low leg kick. Gus with a left hook over the top. Spinning elbow lands for Jones in a very close round. That was a strike he really needed. Gus going for the takedown here. Right hand to the body for Gus. Into the final seconds. A left hook lands for Gus. Jones checked that leg kick, goes to the flying knee, misses, lands a straight left at the end. Another incredibly close round. I'm curious how you guys see that one. And you see the right hand almost looked like could have been an eye poke from Gus there, but not quite. Jones with a head kick. Jones won second round. I have a huge Jon Jones DVD collection. After this fight will be on sale. Clearance to move immediately. Originally, Jon Jones' style was like an anaconda, starving to eat no matter what. Does anybody realize what's on the line tonight? Superman dies. Gus looked awesome against Glover. If that Gus shows up, he's the new champ. Bones is human. Can't see if Gus beats Bones how long he'll stay unbeatable as champ, but it would be a big effing sigh of relief for the UFC finally to get back to normal with him and Conor. Previous fallen gods Anderson Silva and Jose Aldo were all human. No one else wants to see Max revenge the loss to Conor. So anybody let me know who's winning on the cards as soon as there's a break in the action. Gus hair being long and moving whenever he gets cleaner. Clean is a factor. Nice jab at the beginning here for Jon Jones and a front kick down low. Big right hand over the top for Gus. And a right hook over the top. Low leg kick lands there for Gus. And actually, I had the third round differently than I would have it under today's scoring. Nice low leg kick there for Jon Jones. The first time around, I have to be fair to the judges. They don't have the luxury of going back and watching it over and over again. Oh, big right hand from Jones. He goes for a body kick. Gus catches that one. I actually called the third round even a 10-10. A nice right hand over the top there from Gus. So up to this point, oh, nice straight right there from Gus. So up to this point, I have it 2 rounds for Gus, 1 round even. Nice right uppercut there for Gus. Oh, and a straight right for Alex. Under the new rules, it tells you that the judges, when you see them, nice straight left there for Jones. When you see them taking extra time, another nice jab there for Jones. The new rules state that the judge is supposed to watch a round again and try to find a clear winner if they judge around a draw. A draw is supposed to happen almost never, they said. A couple of nice left hooks there from Gus. 3 minutes left in the 4th round. Gus checked that leg kick. And a nice jab there for Gus. 2:50 left in the 4th round. They exchange jabs. Nice front kick to the body from Jones. And a low leg kick from Jones. A nice straight right from Gustafsson. You got to wonder if Jones knew at this point. Jones goes for another takedown and Gus stuffs it. You got to wonder at this point if Jones realized what was at stake here. Nice left hook there from Gustafsson. If he knew that he was behind on 2 of the 3 scorecards at this point. Nice right hand and a body kick there from Gus. Low leg kick lands for Jones and a right hook lands for Gustafsson. Gustafsson misses the 1-2. Jones goes for underhooks again, goes underneath, trying to get the takedown here. Gustafsson fighting it again. Jones almost had him up for a minute. Gustafsson breaks. Lands a little elbow, and Jones has really got a lot of blood coming out of it, that cut on the top left side of his head. Now, whether it's fair or not, that is something the judges are supposed to consider. A couple of jabs land there for Gus and a body kick. Oh, Jones lands a jab at Gus, a big 1-2 afterwards. A low leg kick there for Jones and a right hand to the body for Gustafsson. 1.5 left in the 4th round. Oh, Jones going for a sweeping right uppercut, misses there. And Gustafsson lands a big 1-2 over the top. Jones again shoots for that takedown. Head strikes landed way in favor of Gustafsson, 88-18. Jones favoring the body and the leg kicks more in this one. Lands a nice body kick, leg kick, and another big body kick. Looks like Jones eye poked him there. Not bad enough that Gustafsson had to stop, though. They continue to go. Couple of jabs there from Gustafsson. Jones's eyes really getting busted up and bloody at this point. Gustafsson goes for another takedown. Great defense from Jones and a straight left. And Jones goes for the spinning elbow. And Jones just looked up at the clock here. I think and he lands a spinning elbow. And I think he just realized, hey, I need to do something now. Nice straight left. A knee lands for Jones. Big elbow. He's on the run. Gustafsson on the bicycle. Jones again shoots for the takedown. He has a single leg. Will he get the first takedown here? In the clinch. 15 seconds left. Jones with a big elbow. Another big elbow. Gus now covered in blood. Spinning elbow lands for Jones. Seconds left in the round. Jones goes for the flying knee. Barely misses it. And that will be the end of the fourth round. And I gave that one 4 Jon Bones Jones. Or 2 Jon Bones Jones. So if you want to know who's winning on the cards, like I said, up to this point, it was a little different depending on which one you're looking. I have the scorecards up there on the screen. At this point, I had it 2 rounds to 1 in favor of Gus, with 1 round, the third being even. Just got to know that's been going on forever. Even when you move your head out of the way and it's a punch, don't even hit you. It looks like it. We should watch it at half speed next time. Gus was missing Jones every time in the second. Gus got 1 good punch and 1 leg kick. Jones had 2 kicks to the face, elbow, leg kicks, and several punches. Oh my God, I was about to just say it's bending elbow. Gus remembers those. Holy moly. Gus is so hard to take down, even when he's hurt and tired. What's up, Chris Cord? How you doing? Yeah, that's something I wish they could get the angles a little better, and a lot of times they do on the replays. Sometimes you're right. It is hard to tell what shots landed. And when you go back and look at the stats, at least what they recorded, Jones was more accurate. A nice jab to the body from Jones and a kick from Gus. Gus lands a left hook to start this 5th and final round. Nice 1-2 over the top from Gus and a jab. And Jones has got a ton of Vaseline on that face right now. Nice front kick to the knee for Jones. Gus lands a jab. Nice body kick from Jones. It doesn't look like they did as much work in the corner on Gus as they did on Jones. I didn't remember noticing that the first time. I don't see any Vaseline on his face. Nice low leg kick there from Jones. And they had a couple exchanges there. Jones clinches, but Gustafsson pushes him off easily. Arcade Chaos with the $5 donation. Let's go, Gus. Thank you very much, sir. You're too kind. Thank you. Nice straight right to the body. Nice left there for Jones. 3:50 left in the 5th round. Straight right over the top for Gustafsson there. Thank you so much, Arcade Chaos. Appreciate that. 3:35 left in the 5th. And a nice right hook over the top for Jones. And an elbow, a couple of sneaky uppercuts underneath from Gus, and a left hook from Jones. And whoever was saying that, Gustafsson goes for the takedown again, has a single leg. This time Jones ready for him, pushes him off. 3:20 left in the 5th round. Gus throws a jab and a right hand. It looked like it might have came up a little short. Nice straight right there from Jones. And whoever was saying that, I think you might be right about that second round. Jones goes for the takedown again, grabs a single leg, and this time he gets it. And Jon Jones gets his first takedown of the match. He is in the open guard of Alexander Gustafsson. Gustafsson doing the shrimp crawl into the fence here. Presses in, does a good job of getting back up, but that is a takedown for Jones. And as big a score as Gus's takedown was earlier in the fight. And we're nearing the halfway point of the last round. Both men covered in blood. Jones with a jab there. Nice body kick from Jones, and a right uppercut lands from Gus. I tell you when I'm at 210 if you're looking to sync up. Nice low leg kick there from Jones. I am at 210 right now. Gus is starting to look more tired at this point, I think, than Jones, and Jones lands a head kick up top. Whoa, Jones goes for that spinning elbow and misses it, but immediately transitions into a right uppercut. And another head kick from Jones. Last minute and a half seems pretty dominant for Jones. Couple of jabs there from Gus, but he is exhausted. Jones goes for the takedown. Gus able to stuff it. And Gus goes for the spinning elbow. But that misses. It looks like Jones poked him in the eye a little bit again there. Lands a low leg kick there. Gus kind of half checked it. Checked the next one. Gus lands a little bit of a lazy jab here. Nice body kick there for Jones. And a jab for Gus. Minute 15 left in this fight. Jones pushes Gus's face again with that right hand. Oh, nice combination there from Gus. Nice 1-2 and a jab there from Gustafsson. Jab up top and a sneaky uppercut underneath again from Gus. Nice body kick. Big body kick from Jones and a straight left over the top. Straight right from Gustafsson. What a technical matchup this was, though. No matter how you had it, I think it's very hard to argue that it wasn't a close fight. And Gustafsson going for the takedown here again, and Jones stuffs it. 30 seconds left in the fight. Head kick up top lands for Jones. Leg kick lands for Jones. Left hook lands for Gustafsson there. Remember, one judge had the first round for Gustafsson and every other round for Jones. Body kick for Jones and a left elbow. This definitely, I believe this was definitely Jones's most dominant round. I think this one was pretty clear for him. Lands a flying knee here towards the bell. You can tell he knew it was close, and he knew his title was possibly on the line. Now he's got to look like, hey, I think I won. Gustafsson kind of puts his hands up now. Both these guys, when you interview them in retrospect, both of them admitted they did not know if they had done enough to win the fight, and they believed that it could go either way. So I got to give both of them a lot of credit on the honesty there. Those goo eyebrows were weird. Praying for Gus to uppercut Bones and sleep him. If he didn't land that takedown, wonder if judge outcome would be different. Head kick, another one. He dips head like DC. I never noticed that he does kind of. A left hook over the big left hook over the top from Gus. He probably gets away with it a little bit more than DC because he's so much taller. And there's some highlights of the moments there of the fifth round. I believe Jones is best. So if Jon actually trains for him this time, does that even give Jon a chance? Last time he was too busy sniffing coke off of hookers and running over pregnant women to actually train. Yeah, 2-2 going into the fifth, says Daniel. Live by the sword, die by the sword. The venom will kill you with you. Die by Muay Thai clinch. I agree, Daniel. Good fight. Too bad Jones was on drugs. Well, he hadn't tested positive at that point for anything, but this was also pre-USADA. If Gus won the fight, that begs the question, just how good is DC? DC is very good. What's up, Denise Huey? Thank you for coming in. We're looking for... So my final scorecard, I gave the first 2 rounds to Gustafsson. I called the third round a draw. I gave rounds 4 and 5 to Jones. My final decision, I know you guys may not like it, but when I watched it the other day, I called it a draw. And I think it's unfair to go back to these judges because they don't have that luxury to go back and change my mind now. But now look at the face on Jones and Gustafsson. Gustafsson just looks exhausted. Jones obviously very tentative. And then a big celebration when the hands raised. You could, looking on both their faces, neither one of them was extremely confident that they had won the fight. They signed an AKA guy recently who's 5'5" at middleweight, 185. The UFC did? Did they sign that guy from Oscar's promotion? Is it Dillian White? I can't think of the guy. He trains with Cormier, though. Oh no, that guy's at 205, actually. And he's like 5'7", so that's a different guy I'm thinking of. think Jones just barely stole the fight if it came down to the last half of the 5th round. I definitely thought he won the 5th round. Like I said, and under the new rules, they would make me go back and watch that 3rd round and watch it twice and make sure that I was not able to make a decision on who won that 3rd round. And I will tell you, when I watched it before, I've watched it once. I thought it was a draw. I watched it again. I gave it to Gustafsson. I watched it this time, and I think I might lean towards Jones. So, you know, I feel good about calling that 3rd round a draw. But like I said, 3 times watching it, and I've kind of had 3 different, 3 different ideas each time. So I'm okay with the champion retaining his championship in that fight, but that is not the case this time. There's no championship clause. There's got to be definitive winners in each round, and man, I'll tell you, I don't know what fight I'm looking forward to more. Jones versus I'm looking more forward to Jones versus Gustafsson. But Cyborg and Nunez are right up there. I mean, that, like I said, that could be the greatest female fight ever. I wouldn't take the fight if I was DC unless I knew Jones was clean. VADA testing or whatever that other testing body is, which is more thorough than USADA. Fought at Oscars lost. He's in Daniel's head. I think if John and DC go 3, John sweeps at 3-0. I agree. I think he is in Daniel's head. Only gifted fighters don't let other fighters get in their head. It's a given that Jones is in DC's head, but I have faith in DC. I say let's do this one final time. I could see DC asking for that. See, DC's acting like he doesn't want the fight. I kind of have to lean towards that he does want the fight, but he wants to see how much money they're going to throw at him. That's my idea. So just another second, just so these guys get their money's worth. Like I said, they are helping pay for this stream. They are the official sponsor of Fights with Friends MMA Trivia. On it, Total Human Optimization. They are looking on getting me some new codes. I am going to put my code in there to see if it works for you guys, because they're supposed to have, it wasn't working before. They were supposed to have sent me a new link. I'm going to see if this works for you guys. I don't think it is. It wasn't earlier. But I'm going to post it anyways just to see if it does now. Because they're supposed to have a free trial of Alpha Brain for you guys, Shroom Tech, and New Mood. So that's a big deal. I want you guys to be able to try it risk-free. And they are very good about their money-back guarantee. You know, some places they make it a pain in the butt. From what I've heard, they are actually very good. So I'm going to try putting in this HTML, but it is very long. So we will see what we get. It's looking clickable right now. I wonder if it's YouTube that is not approving it. So I'm going to put 2 links in the chat here if this first one doesn't work. But like I said, the reason I'm continuing to go on with this and put the link on here is they promised me some free trials for you guys. So I do want you guys to try the free trials. And so it looks like that is not coming up as a valid link. So I wonder if it's something. Oh, you know what? I think I put in something extra there. That could have been the issue before. Oh, there we go. It's going to let me copy link address. So there is a link. Use that link. You should be able to get, let me try right now. You should have free trials. Well, and that goes nowhere. So let me try the other link. Sorry about that, guys. Thank you. Somebody else agrees, because this has got my blood pumping. I think Jon Jones DC3 would be right up there with one of the top UFCs ever. I think it would still be big. I think a lot of people still want to see that fight. I agree with you that it would be pretty big. So that, let me try this other link. Okay, so that should be it. If you go in there, you got a free, have some free samples in there. That's it. Alpha Brain, Shroom Tech, New Mood. Just to let you guys know, every time you guys try one of those samples, here at Fights with Friends, I get $10 for every time you take a free sample. So it's a win-win for everybody. That's why I push. And then if you decide to order on there, whether it's a one-time order or a continuous order, like I have a continuous order, I save a little bit on my Alpha Brain by doing it that way. Some commission comes back to the channel. It's a little different depending on what the item is, anywhere from 8 to 20%. I don't feel any reason to not fully disclose that to you guys. DC is telling the truth, and I'm believing he is when he says it hates running in circles, chasing his own tail. I believe that 100%, but you're not telling me he can't tell himself he does not want. Last sound of the octagon locking with him and Bones to finally say what it is. Both of them right now are acting like they don't want to fight each other. If I'm a smart business person, if I'm trying to be a smart business person, if I'm Jones or Cormier, I'm acting like I don't want that fight. But we got to look at it, though. If Gustafsson wins, let's say if Gustafsson beats Jones, do we see DC and Gustafsson again? Do people call for that fight? I think it would be horrible to see DC have one more fight and retire in a Lesnar fight. I think that would be a shame after a great Hall of Fame career. To go out on, kind of a fluff fight like that. I mean, I honestly, I think him fighting Brock Lesnar, I think that's worse than him fighting Derek Lewis. To be honest. I think it's worse. Derek Lewis, he didn't deserve the shot, but Lesnar, that's absolutely absurd. Without having an asterisk attached to his legendary status due to a cheater, DC can take a legitimate, fair loss. How do you live with losses from a cheater? They are holding out for the big payday. I agree. Yeah, he's never lost to anybody that, DC, that's the only one that he's got the supposed loss to. And there's an asterisk by the first one, and the second one's just completely thrown out. Dwayne, that would be great, but I'm afraid DC might be crying at the end. I don't want to see that. I got to admit, Daniel, I kind of want to see that. Oh, geez. DM, giving Brock no respect. I give him zero respect. He hasn't fought him forever. He's over 40 years old. He didn't train as an MMA fighter. He's been doing the WWE thing. Even there, he does more on the mic than he does in the ring. He makes about 4 performances a year. He is juiced up to the gills. I don't believe he'll ever be clean. I think that when test results come out after the fight, it'll probably come out that he was dirty. And God knows where that 6th sample is. Supposedly they thought they had lost one of his 6 samples, and then out of all the over 500 UFC fighters, somehow they had counted his sample twice. They had missed one of the samples. They're saying technical. Jeff Nowitzki's saying technical error. I call number 1 bullshit. I'm just taking a quick poll. Anybody out there who's never cried about anything, especially being knocked the F out, can you line up? I don't see the free samples, but you might have to sign in. They told me, let me know. Thank you for going there, Beowulf. Let me know if you're not able to see them, and I'll talk to Alpha Brain about their link, because the link wasn't working before. I'm going to go on there and look at what, I'm going to hit the link and look at what you guys are seeing too, and see if I can see the spot for them. Like I said, that first link, that's not going to work. So search. Yeah, because my representative for On It told me that you guys are supposed to get free Alpha Brain, free Shroom Tech, and free New Mood. And free shipping right now for orders over $125. I see that. Valid, and the shipping's valid only in the U.S. I see that part. Might have to log in. I'm not sure. Give Lesnar a better chance. He can actually wrestle. Come on, he's been after the WWE for a minute now, and there's other people in line at the service shop outside. And, oh, yeah. Did you see Stipe's Twitter? About Brock's missing sample. Not surprisingly, he immediately called Dana and the UFC out on that. I see invite friends and get $20. I see my points. From ordering. See all my orders that have shipped. All right, well, I apologize. I will look into it. Like I said, it looks like we have the free shopping up. But I'm not seeing Yeah, I'm not seeing the free sample, so they may have to give me some separate codes for that. I'm new to this affiliate links thing, so I was a little confused on the Amazon Associates. That's my other sponsor. I'm doing a thing with Amazon, but there'll be links for each item, and I emailed them, and they're difficult to get a hold of. I might have to get a hold of them on the phone, but this is it's pretty much crucial for me to be able to have the time to run the channel right now, to have some kind of sponsor, because I'm giving up a lot of time and overtime and things at work where I would normally be, making more money. I mean, I make about $20 an hour. $30 an hour is a lot different. See, I don't think the third fight has any bearing on DC's career or not. If he loses, if he wins it, changes everything. Either way, he leaves with some big effing shoes to fill. That's a good point, Arcade Cast. I mean, he's already lost 2, so it's kind of like, what do you have to lose at this point? Are they really going to say it any different? But he has a lot to gain. And Jones seems to have everything to lose. At Arcade, I just hope DC knows. I can't believe the feeling I'm getting right now, and I'm hoping it's not mutual throughout this chat, but I'm hoping the feeling is you guys think Daniel Cormier... Oh, I'm hoping the feeling is that you guys think Daniel Cormier is all about the money and that he's some type of sellout. DC seems to take things to heart. Now, look, I don't blame Daniel. If Daniel Cormier wants to cash out for one last fight, it wasn't his idea to get Brock in there, I don't believe, first of all. When they get in there and do the push and stuff, I think that's a favor that the UFC did to Daniel Cormier for so many things that they've done for him. I don't question Daniel Cormier's devotion to the UFC, his heart. Listen, this is a guy that still coaches a high school wrestling team. He's heavyweight and light heavyweight champion of the world. At least he's still light heavyweight champion until December 29th. Until they put that belt on somebody else. And he's still coaching a high school wrestling team. So I will never call him a sellout. I have great respect for Daniel Cormier. I love the way that I think he's done it the right way. He's a family guy. He's a great role model. Him and Stipe Miocic are my favorite active fighters in the UFC. Hands down. That's why it was hard for me. I was excited when they made that matchup between Stipe and DC, but I was like, I don't want to see either one of them lose. I would hate to see DC retire without seeing that rematch, but I don't know that we do. I don't know if because I'm a Scorpio or because I just love DC, but that was like crazy people real life. It's all about the money with him. Why shouldn't it be? If it was that at this point in this. He's no sellout. He deserves a big payday. But yeah, I agree with you guys 100%. And look, I don't think that there really are sellouts, except, unless you're going to talk about like Colby Covington, and I don't care for what the Diaz brothers are doing right now, but to say that Nate hasn't paid his dues, Nate and Nick, I don't like what they're doing right now, but to say those guys haven't paid their dues, Nick's been in this game. He beat Robbie Lawler in the UFC when he's 20 years old. He had just barely turned 20 years old when he upset Robbie Lawler and knocked him out in like UFC 19 or something. I don't remember the exact UFC. But then went over and fought in Japan, was a Strike Force, had great fights in Pride, Strike Force champion. So, I have respect for what he's done inside the cage. And a lot of these guys, I understand getting your money. You're getting hit in the head. We know more about CTE. We know more about a lot of things. It's like, You want to leverage your fights to get as much money as possible. I understand that. I clicked on it. I see products. Thank you, Daniel York. I appreciate the update. If I was a betting man, in which I'm willing to bet he's the most intelligible fighter if you ran him through a computer. Oh, you're talking about DC? Yeah, he's definitely a smart dude. He's definitely a smart guy. How much has Jon Jones really skirted by on his athletic ability? And you can't blame him. I mean, it's human nature when you become the big fish in a small pond. And I'm not saying that's what Jon Jones is. This might not be the case. And Alexander Gustafsson definitely pushed him to the brink. But I will tell you, when I was with a bigger company and I had, I was trying to move up, and maybe this is a weird comparison to fighting, but just stick with me for a minute. You had guys there, there was gossip, and there was these people, they were just sharks, and they were coming at you. I mean, they were throwing freight a million miles an hour. They were running. They were doing everything they could to impress, the VP, the uppers in the company and everything. And everybody was constantly pushing each other. Some people were making each other better. Some people were, you always had those people out there that were trying to make you look bad so they could take your spot. Beowulf, $5. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate it. And I didn't have the applause out because I had the sound off earlier for you, Arcade Chaos. But thank you both, and a round of applause now for you guys. That is very helpful. Thank you guys so much. Looking forward to 9 more days of UFC 232 fight hype here. Hey, and we'll definitely be doing some more hype. I have some more ideas for some new videos. Taking some more time, hopefully, to do some end of the year stuff. I had wanted to do like an end of the year, like top fights for last year, and I never ended up having the time for it. But anyways, where I was going with my analogy, when I felt like, I was in with a bunch of big fish in a big ocean, then I went to another company where, it was a smaller, kind of like family-owned company, and I had the most experience. I kind of felt like I was the big shark, and to be honest, my game went down. My work ethic was not the same. I didn't push myself as much. And I went from being the top dog. I felt, because of my experience and my abilities and everything, that, that I had abilities quite a bit above a lot of the people I was working with. I let those people get a lot closer to me. So, and maybe there's something in that with Jon Jones, that if he had, if he has somebody like Alexander Gustafsson that pushed him to the brink, maybe that's what it takes to push him to the next level. And obviously DC brought that out of him, especially I think in that second match. No matter what anybody says, from that point of view, DC holds all the cards. If not, take an S, Mr. White. I like it. Hey, I am all for Daniel Cormier getting as much money as possible. And the good thing is, I know if it goes to Daniel Cormier, I know it doesn't go to cocaine and hookers. I'll tell you that. I don't think Daniel Cormier is spending a lot of money on cocaine and hookers. Thank you guys so much. This was a lot of fun, especially all of you who sat through an entire, fight. I know it was an older fight, but I think it was a lot of fun to go back and to watch this old fight. Thank you again for the donations, Arcade Chaos and Beowulf. That helps out so much. I can't wait to see you guys soon. Like I said, Saturday, we'll be doing boxing. The Charlo brothers are fighting there And that's some world championship matchups, and it's also could set up a pound for pound fight with Lomachenko or some of these other top pound for pound boxers. And you'll be able to follow along on Fox. So I think that one's going to be a lot of fun. Even if you're not usually a big boxing fan, you're an MMA guy, I think that's going to be some entertaining fights. Both of those guys, the Charlo brothers, they always come to fight. So I think it's going to be good. I'll do somewhat of a little promo. I don't know as much about boxing, and I won't pretend to the landscape of boxing right now as I do about MMA. But I'll try to do a little something to fill you guys in on that, help build the hype for that. But the big hype train, of course, is UFC 232, Jones versus Gustafsson 2, and Amanda Nunes versus Chris Cyborg. I cannot wait. That's like my Christmas present to myself, getting that pay-per-view. So until next time, you guys have a great night. As always, I love you, I respect you, and I'll see your fine asses later.